Well, guess who back? They bought us something new. Afnan. They bought us another fragrance. And this time, they bought us another Turathi. Yeah, let's talk about it. YouTube, what's the vibe? It's your boy Zebo708, and I'm back at you with another one. Like I said, Afnan bought us another one. This time, they bought us Turathi Electric. Bam. It's a beautiful color. Look at that. Yeah, man, that is beautiful. I'm loving the color, the way that color just flips like a prisma. Nice color. Okay, so you already know that I had bought you Turathi Blue, which turned out to be a very great fragrance. I had, somebody jump in the comment and say it was gas. They didn't necessarily like it, that it wasn't all that. But I will say this. Ever since I purchased it, I've given it a try, worn it, definitely gotten compliments on it. Now, here's the thing, and I'm stumbling over my words, but please forgive me. Here's the thing about this fragrance and the compliments that I received. They were compliments from, people that, are familiar with me in fragrances. So this is something that I definitely want to address because compliments seem to be a big thing in this community. In order to receive certain compliments, bro, it definitely got to come from either a person that's very outspoken, a person that's confident in saying what they're saying, how they say it, or somebody that is familiar with you. So because you don't get a compliment on a fragrance doesn't mean that the fragrance is not doing what it's supposed to do. And that kind of it kind of like throw me for a loop sometimes because compliments do not build the fragrance. It don't. It may sell the fragrance because of whatever, misconceptions and miseducation behind compliments and how big compliments have become. I'll say it again, bro. To anybody, man or woman that love rocking fragrances, because sometimes there are women that walk past me that have certain fragrances on that smells, great. But as a man with a certain level of respect, I don't compliment, and it's reasons why I don't compliment. If I'm at work, in a professional setting, I'm not going to tell you, even though it may not be offensive to say, hey, you smell good. I don't even want to even, have that whole situation. So I will keep the compliment to myself. Here's another thing that recently happened to me when I had this particular fragrance on. I noticed that I was having a conversation with someone, and a young lady that was not in my conversation kept inching closer and closer that had nothing to do with the conversation. And that's not the first time. This happens a lot. So, fellas, ladies, if you don't get compliments on your fragrances, especially the ones that you know for a fact smell great, and you should be getting compliments on them, don't worry about that. Just keep your eyes peeled because you're going to see people gravitating towards you. You can even see in some situations where people will perk up when you come around with certain fragrances on because it is a great gesture to have a great fragrance on. And you know, people be walking around smelling like whatever. So it's refreshing to have somebody around them that smells great. And they gravitate toward that because it is pleasant and appealing. Anyhow, we're going to go ahead and jump into this fragrance because I definitely wanted to talk about that, you know, with these fragrances. And sometimes a fragrance may not be for me, may not be for you, but it may be appealing to others. So, you know, somebody tell you they don't like something that you like, all right, it ain't for you. Whoever it's for is going to say, hey, man, that smells good. What you got on? So just look at it like that, you know, and, you know, enjoy your fragrances. All right, we're going to jump into this electric, though, because I definitely was waiting on this joint. It did arrive kind of quick. And the ticket on it was in the $40 range, a little over $40. So, yeah, I'm definitely, you know, ready to get into this joint here. Definitely ready to get into this. Now, this fragrance is said to be a clone of, that up out the way. This is said to be a clone of, what was they saying it's a clone of? And I know it was something that I had never got my nose on. Blue Talisman. So this is a clone of Blue Talisman, which we already have, you know, other fragrances that are inspired by or clones or dupes of Blue Talisman. And we're going to see how this one do. Great reviews on it already, though. Great reviews on it. New fragrances like these that just pop out because this is a newer fragrance that just jumped out this year. Actually, maybe about a month ago, month and a half ago or whatever. I listen to, you know, the reviewers that review it. A lot of them I take their opinions in. I do. I really do take their opinions in, but it's fragrances that I just need to test for myself and see if I like them. If I do, I do. If I don't, I don't. At least I can say, hey, look, I wasn't swayed to get something that, you know, was said to be great and it really wasn't. So that's how I feel about that. Bam. Beautiful presentation. Look at that joint there, man. Nice. Got the young writing in the inside. We got that bottle sitting in that velour cushion. Joint sitting in there right too. Okay. And the crazy thing about this, it has that Prisma kind of glass look to it as well. The same as the box. Now, bottle style, it's the same as Turathi Blue, same bottle style, which I'm assuming that, you know, this is a line that all of them pretty much gonna have that same style, which I ain't mad at it. I'm definitely not mad at it at all. In fact, I like the way that the bottle, you know, easily to grip, grab, hold, you know, spray. So we're going to jump into electric and see what it do. You know how we do on this channel. We put it in the air, put it on testing strip, then put it on skin to see how it performs on skin. So let me find this joint so I can get me a nice little test that atomizer. That's decent. Go ahead, put that in the air. Atomizer check. Now, the only thing this atomizer is decent. I just don't like my fragrances to spray at that wide. This is like very spacious. Good for clothing. If you're spraying your clothing, that's good. However, you going to spray on you getting it everywhere. Now, in the air, I think that this fragrance definitely have the right name for it. So if electric had a smell, this is it. Very light, very fresh, kind of soapy. I will put the notes up here for you to check out. It has a unique, and I'm not gonna say like a hand sanitizer, soapy kind of smell, but it does have, and it's not even like a dishwashing kind of soapy smell, but it does have like a little tinge of soapiness in it. But it definitely, in my opinion, it smells like what electric would smell like electrifying, like very intense, very bright, very fresh, vibrant as hell, like upbeat. This is something that I see summer vibe, heavy, like bright color heavy. Like this is something that you got your bright colors popping, you know, or you got your white linen on and you just fresh and you just clean. This what gives me, you know, that kind of vibe. Like it definitely is a beautiful fragrance that is light, fresh. Now, if you're not into like the, you know, the fragrances that have that kind of like soapy little, you know, hint to it, or that smells a little soapy, you're probably not gonna really be vibing with this like that, because again, you do get it. I don't know, you know, as far as on the dry down, if you still get that soapy kind of vibe, but in the air, that's just what I got, you know. But in my opinion, overall, $40 fragrance, beautiful. And if it's the way that they say, like it is a match, like some of these reviewers that have put their nose on Blue Talisman said that, yo, it's on point. If this is how Blue Talisman, you know, smell and the popularity behind that, and if they struck a chord like to the T like that, then, you know, kudos for them. Now, on testing script, soapiness dialed all the way down. I'm not getting that. I am getting that fresh, that clean, again, that bright, vibrant vibe. Like, I'm definitely getting summer all day long. Pool party kind of like on the, you know, the cat that's just laying back on the, you know, on the little couch by the pool that's just clean. Or the, you know, the guy that's sitting up at the bar by the pool party, you know, sitting up at the bar smelling good. Like this, that kind of vibe. And in my case, definitely gonna be a nice walk around fragrance. I see myself with this on, with like heavy, you know, North Carolina blue gear on, you know, just clean with it. Just, you know, casual, kickback, light, fresh, moving around. It's that kind of vibe. Off skin. Definitely change complexions. Definitely. It's not as light as it is in the air testing script. I do not get that soapy vibe at all on skin. However, it still is a very beautiful fragrance. Smells good. Summer vibe for sure. Summer vibe for sure. Cannot see you wearing this, you know, I can't really see it holding its own during the winter. It's not as dense. It's a very inoffensive fragrance that is appealing and definitely gonna appeal to a lot of nose during the summer. Yeah, this is again, 40 bucks. I'm taking it every time. And these are two fragrances that your boy would definitely cop again. Like, if I run out of these, let's say I ran out of these tomorrow I will be going to get another bottle or putting an order in for another bottle. Just on the simple fact that it changes things up. These two fragrances don't smell like anything that I have. Even on the, the blue fragrances, even on the summer vibes, they still are different fragrances in my collection. Like, they are something different. So I'm definitely going to be putting some work in on this one. Tomorrow, I will be spraying them on heavy tomorrow. And I'm going to see what it do tomorrow. I'm definitely going to see what it do. Because this thing it's a beautiful fragrance. Not heavy, not offensive. Like, I cannot see this fragrance offending anybody. I cannot see this fragrance, not being noticeable at all. Like, I don't care if don't nobody say nothing to you about the fragrance at all. In my mind, I'm always thinking, yeah, you smell the fragrance. It's undeniable. So you ain't got to compliment me. You ain't got to tell me I smell good. You ain't got to ask me what I got on. I know from my nose that these fragrances are great fragrances. They smell good. And if you are around me or in my circumference, you smell it. And that's all I ask from a fragrance. That's all I ask. All I ask for is that this fragrance, that I know that this fragrance be banging. And the confidence in me will know, yeah, anybody around me, you smell it, whether you say something or not. So, in my opinion, great fragrance. Great fragrance. However, the only knock that I got against this fragrance is that I think it could have been a little stronger in its projection, because I don't know. You may have to, spray a little heavy with it to get that projection that, you kind of want to, exude. But it smells great. Again, it has its density to it, but it's just not off the skin the way that I would like it to be. I would definitely love for it. The way that it smells, if it projected, and I'm going to say maybe a little bit more than what it is. And this is just off of, one spray on my wrist. That's just one spray. Again, I got to definitely test it out, put it on and see how I feel about it. But just off the initial test, I think that it could have been a little more potent in its projection. But it's a great fragrance. 40 bucks, you won't be disappointed. I'm not. I can't really say if you won't be disappointed, because you may have different expectations for your fragrances, but I'm loving it. I'm definitely gonna put this joint on tomorrow, rock it, move around, see what it do, and put it on my shelf. And from these two fragrances, I think these are two fragrances that I have from, this line and this house. I might start definitely looking into more fragrances. I know about the 9 p.m., the 9 a.m. dives, but I just wasn't, you know, too compelled to grab those, which I still may not grab those. Might just start reaching for something else in this fragrance house that I'm kind of interested in, but I'm definitely satisfied with these. I don't see nothing, you know, that they did wrong aside from, you know, the potency of it. But I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. I'm gonna let y'all go. Please like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. Jump in the comments. Let's talk about it. In my opinion, 2 great fragrances. 2 great fragrances. Definitely gonna enjoy them. I'm out of here. It's your boy Zebo708. Peace.